McIntyre had been a friend of my father's, or so he said. Maybe his willingness to hire me was in memory of that friendship. Working for McIntyre had its advantages, but I'd found that men of high office often had low morals. I bristled at being so easily pulled into the British military machine. I was being used, but for as long as I benefited, I could live with it, and I needed money to stay in the sky. Every night we drank in makeshift bars. Clive would regale us with news from the grapevine, painting an ominous picture of Rommel closing his fist around Tobruk. Clive was extremely keen for us to move on. Tommy, perhaps nostalgic for his glory days, wanted us to stay. I had no desire to leave lucrative work behind, but the atmosphere was changing every day, choking the life from the city. One way or another, I sensed our time here was running short. Clive's in trouble. See if you can find anything out, please.
Will do.
Tommy, I've traced the signal back to a Nazi listening post. Shit! I've got echoes.
Take him out, Dee Dee. Looks like Clive has been dealing with the Sanusi, trying to make a little on the side. These Saharan smugglers can be bad news, Dee Dee, so watch yourself.
think I see him. All clear for landing. You've got your head up and locked, Greer.
Sorry I was stronger. She wants to play both sides. I did have got caught up in the middle. I'll be one extra passenger. This is my new mate, Dave.
There's no time for introductions. Let's get the hell out of here. Shut up. We left Tobruk under cover of darkness, stomachs knotted with fear and worry. The truck bumped along dirt roads, while my thoughts churned. Ahmed was relocating us to Azerbaijan. Clive still had contacts there. I felt powerless, my destiny controlled by others. Resting my head on Tommy's shoulder, I closed my eyes and dreamt of happier times. As a girl, I would gratefully put aside my wrench and oil can at the end of each day and listen to the stillness, feeling the early evening sun on my skin, hearing the birds sing to each other. Nights were a time for warm bread, chilled wine and stories. My favorites were Tommy's tales of his time flying alongside my father, a man who I only ever knew through legend and hearsay. Tommy, tell me about Constantinople again.
Constantinople?
Yes. I knew Diggy's father there. He was a dashing figure. All the lads respected him. We both flew in the naval barrage of Constantinople, the Battle of Gallipoli in 1916. We were in different squadrons, but if you flew, you knew the name of Lieutenant Guillaume de Bec. I was a young man then. My third combat flight, something like that. Your father was a hero to the lads, a decorated ace with a dozen kills to his name. He'd been shot down at least 3 times before Constantinople, so we thought he was invincible. And so did he, often trying to draw crowds to keep the other boys safe. Our first job was to locate artillery targets. see them. Just our pilot's view of the patchwork war raging beneath us. We pointed the finger at people listening. The father, he in the bed, he must have had thoughts like those. Thoughts of who was killing him. He'd play at their fights, and sometimes he'd get down. You could tell his heart wasn't in it. He'd do what he had to do. Once the ground targets were smoked, you would check the beach to a suitable landing.
Bring on the dip. Constantinople, all right.
Found. Found what we'd expected before. We'd taken Constantinople. Well, things would have been different, I suppose. Didn't quite go to plan.
Tally ho, Rienzo's a drink.
That didn't happen at all. She knows that line.
I know that line. Morozov was a thug, a bully and a criminal. Clive had worked with him before the war, but clearly didn't trust him. If we'd had a choice, we would have worked with another colorful, honorable scoundrel like Ahmed. Trouble is, you don't always have a choice. Morozov needed pilots to do his dirty work for him, and this time he wouldn't be flying with any official sanction. Unlike McIntyre with his neat mustache and pressed uniform, Morozov did not look at me with disdain or arrogance. There would be no coded meanings or coy military euphemisms. We would be exploiting the war and getting paid for it. The lack of pretense, at least, was refreshing. Morozov was clearly a villain, but I thought his love of money would protect us. As it turned out, he had his mind on a bigger game, and his greed would put us in far greater danger than I had ever imagined.